Welcome to Becoming Powerhouse, where we discuss the tough lessons I've learned while taking my two companies from negative revenue to over 7 figures. We'll talk about the raw and vulnerable truths about being boss, as well as tips and strategies you can implement immediately for better business results. I'm your host, Nicole Overcamp, the founder and CEO of Wilcox Financial Group and Powerhouse Coaching. You can see links and other resources in our notes. Don't forget to head over to herhousemoney.com to grab your free Her bundle for business and subscribe to our newsletter. Now, let's dive in to today's episode. So, of course, business is hard. Womp womp. But if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. And so if you are in a spot with your business where you're maybe feeling stuck, challenged, frustrated, or maybe you're comparing yourself to everyone else's highlight reel, don't give up. However, it's really important to get super honest with yourself and take a hard look at some variables that might need to change. I wanted to share with you guys today some lessons I have learned and hard questions that I've had to ask myself over the years to move the needle and make a change. And the reality is like, that is not easy. It sounds simple, but not easy. So the first is asking, am I really doing all of the things that I need to do to get better? So what I mean by that is if you have said to yourself, man, business hasn't grown in a while, it's just slow. Are you doing the same things that you have been doing since that business hasn't grown in a while phase? So maybe it's 6 months, 3 months, a year, I don't know. But that is a signal to shake things up if you are still obsessed with what you do and you still love it. So take an honest inventory of what your schedule looks like. What are you doing from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed? And are any of those tasks doing something that can actually provoke or invoke like business growth, business development? Are you getting uncomfortable every day? Are you asking for it? Are you actively prospecting or just marketing? They're two very, very different things. Are you showing up in different places where you're going to meet different people or maybe have a different conversation? Have you changed the groups that you're hanging out in, the people that you're talking to? All of these things are so important, and sometimes to move business or to grow, it's just one conversation or it's one tiny tweak, and maybe it's a series of them, but you absolutely cannot expect for anything to change if you don't change. So that's the first thing. And next, if you're not growing, maybe consider the fact that are you your ideal client? A lot of the times we're kind of similar, especially in a service-based business, or if you're product-based, you're probably selling a product that you love. That's why you have the product and invented it in the first place. And so would you buy your own product or service? Would you read your own newsletter? Would you watch your own videos from start to finish? Are you just doing it to do it? Or is it impactful, meaningful? Does it still have the spark in it? Is it valuable? Would it hold your attention? Look at your stuff objectively as you were the consumer and digest it. And does it suck? Or is it pretty good? Just be honest with it. Sometimes when we're in a rut or we're feeling stuck, we just throw content out there to check the box and say, yep, that's what I had to do today, without actually shaking it up again, getting creative. But then again, be your own consumer and really pay attention to whether or not you like what you're producing. And if you don't, pay attention to the things that you do like and understand what you like about it specifically, what caught your attention, what kept your attention, or what was intriguing about it, and where can you apply those principles to your own business. Another thing, ask yourself the hard questions. All the things that you're doing throughout the day, are you the one that should be doing that task? Or is there someone better that should be doing it? So if you as the founder or leader, CEO, are working on tasks or items that are easy to delegate, find someone else to do, or frankly, anyone else but you can do, get rid of them, delegate them so that you can free up your time and space to be more productive in your zone of genius. And typically for a founder visionary leader, that is literally a lot of the creative space, the business development, working with clients, or doing that one and only thing that you do best and nobody else can do it better. And everything else is noise. And so you can find people who are smarter than you, better than you, more talented than you to do all those other parts of the business. It's scary to do that, especially if you are a control freak like me and you feel like you have to do all the things, touch all the things. But the reality is it's okay to let those go so that you can expand and grow and make a bigger impact. You cannot grow if you do all of the things all of the time. It will cap you and it will make you feel very limited. Another thing to think about is if you are saying to yourself, well, shit, I can't even afford help at this point. I'm at a standstill. I'm terrified to use capital for that. Look at how you can leverage AI. What are some things that you can actually have automated or leverage AI to save you a shit ton of time? This is exactly what we're teaching in our business membership through the Moxie Club. And a lot of what we're doing is showing how to make custom, still personalized emails, but send them on autopilot. Send 20 emails at one time versus one at a time and cut out 20 minutes. Utilize ChatGPT effectively. And I don't mean just using it for emails, but there are so many different use cases for this where you can actually build out and customize your own bots if you want to. When you're using AI, no one should know you're using AI and it should sound exactly like you. And then think of all of the other things within your business that you touch twice, do twice, or more than once. Oftentimes that can be created into an automation. When you have more things happening on autopilot and you're using technology, it actually results in a better customer experience too, because it's more consistent. So that is one thing that we can absolutely help you with. And the co-founder in Moxie, my partner, MJ, she is brilliant. She is the AI mind. I am the business coaching mind. She's the AI mind. And so there's so much that you can probably do there to free up your time to make more money. And then you can invest in human talent. And that leads me right into the letting it go and delegating. So as you're doing this and when you find that right human, whether it's an employee or 1099, make sure that you are hiring the right butt for the right seat and you're not just putting out a fire, okay? Often when we feel overwhelmed and we need help, we take the first person who comes to us, and usually it's someone who's comfortable. We've known them a long time. We trust them. Maybe it's a friend, but they might be the wrong person for that seat. And so you want to go to the talent first and make sure that they're an expert at what you need. And if it takes a little bit of time to find that person, that is fine. It will save you more time, frustration, and money in the long run. I have done this. I have gone through it. I have hired who's comfortable, and I have cried over it when I realized I just wasted tens of thousands of dollars on a salary for the wrong fit just because I liked the person. So always make sure to go to the talent first. And when you are going through this stuff and freeing up time and space and energy, it'll be easier for you to be more mindful. You can also use AI to vet the right help as well. And then choosing what you want to do. And so when you're going through maybe that time awareness log or taking inventory and really looking at, man, like, what do I need to delete? What do I need to delegate? What is that one thing that only I can focus on, that thing that only I can do? Own that and protect it like a child. Like, you need to make sure that that is the thing that you are doing every single day. You're focusing on it, you're growing it, and nothing else is interrupting it. And so you are going to become an expert at buying back your time, an expert at finding other people to do the different components of your business so that you can really explode growth. And last but not least, it is so easy to fall into that social media trap. That's how I started this video. This is how I'm ending it. And the reality is you can compare yourself, which doesn't serve you whatsoever, and you don't know what is under the cover. So if you're hearing coaches or somebody, which by the way is like the wild, wild west out there, anybody can say anything on social media. So make sure that it can be validated. However, if they're saying, I've been making $20,000 months, $100,000 months, number one, that's revenue. It's not profit. They could be broke as fuck and you have no idea. And if they're just showing shiny things all the time and not being real about the struggles that they went through, or not telling stories of where they started and how they got there, or giving valuable advice outside of all of those catchy, flashy things, I would also get really curious. And do they have experience and have they actually done the thing that they're selling? Like, is it a business coach who's never ran a business? You want to pay attention to those things. And then be mindful of whether or not it is serving you or it's toxic when it comes to social media. It is a beautiful thing. It's such a gift nowadays to be able to use social media and leverage it for business growth. Truly, it beats the hell out of when I started in business and I had to use a phone book and cold call all day. So it is a beautiful gift. And so you just want to be mindful of how you're using it. Show up. And if it's for business and you're still doing that part of it, get in, do the thing, get out, and don't fall into that mindless scroll. So use it, leverage it, but be mindful. So those are some tips that I have for you, and just being brutally honest and holding yourself accountable to some of the things that you need to consider, think about, do. And most importantly is if you are feeling stuck or you've plateaued, shake it up. This is a perfect signal to probably hire a business coach or help or seek an expert. I know for me, every time I've felt stuck, whether it's just in my head or reality in business, I've hired a coach. And that's what we're here for, to help you guys get through those sticky parts so that you can continue to love your business, thrive in your business, live your best fucking life because you deserve it. You work really, really hard. You just have to be willing to take that risk and cut out all the bullshit excuses holding you back from getting everything that you want. Thanks so much for listening to Becoming Powerhouse. You can find all of the links to our site and resources in the show notes. Let's connect on Instagram at PowHerHouseMoney, and don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter at powerhousemoney.com. Remember, I want to connect with you. I want to hear your thoughts and help you with all the challenges you're having. So engage, send me a DM. And of course, if you're loving this podcast, let us know and go ahead and hit the subscribe button and leave a review.